Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Okay. I like doing that. Okay, go to Hamu Street, yeah! Hello, and welcome back to part whatever of Sherlock Holmes Crime and Punishments. Maybe I should stop saying on what part I am and just say that welcome back to my video. Yeah, that might be better. Well, where we left off in Sherlock Holmes Crime and Punishments, where is it? Ah, right, yeah. We are one step closer to finishing the Kew Gardens case. And we are actually trying to prove whether the murder needs an accomplice or not, because the person who killed himself, I forgot the name, kinda committed suicide, so we cannot get the answer out of him, and his foot isn't working well, so he cannot really run on far distance. So I'm here trying to figure out if that is possible and if there's a second culprit to the case. Well, without further ado, let's just get right through it. Alright. My thingy, where is it? Which one? Talk to Strahd, possibly impact of new clues. Yes, that's the one. Time to talk to him. Hello, Strahd. I may have something. Okay. Hello.
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
Jack the Ripper?
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Alright, time to check out the map.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
Oh my goodness, I'm actually recreating? This is kinda new. This kind of stuff never happened on the previous case, but I'll try my best. Right, let's see. Something's wrong? Or Hamish returns something with Miss White. I think this is the one. This is the one. Right, maybe this should be the correct time. They go, talk, please. Right, found poison, and all of them meet back. Nice.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Okay. Wow. Right. Martin Hamish might not have had enough time to do it all by himself. It would have been difficult to stimulate the deadly spores and lock the door in just 10 minutes without being observed. Albert was alone in the seat house after Montague Dunn had entered the large glass house. Since Dunn showed signs of poisoning at 10:20, Albert had approximately 10 minutes to act without being observed. Miss White stayed alone in the laboratory after speaking with Martin. Since Montague Dunn showed signs of poisoning at 10:20, White had approximately 20 minutes to act without being observed. Okay, let's connect this first. White had 20 minutes to have enough to trap Montague Dunn. She could have locked the door and allowed Martin Hamish to ventilation still. But having it were not accomplished like dear White would have not already time will not be enough to lock. What do you mean? It's enough time, right? 20 minutes. Okay. And then Hamish and Albert's. Which are not accomplices. It's unlikely that Albert would have had the opportunity, and 10 minutes were not enough. Albert was already Hamish's accomplice. 10 minutes would have been enough for him to follow Montague Dunn and lock the door. Okay. Yeah, that's the problem. Two conflicting cases. Right. Do I have another thing? Margaret White was Martin Hamish's accomplice in killing Montague Dunn. Her professional ambition and personal situation had been damaged by the breakup with Dunn. Albert was Martin Hamish's accomplice in killing Montague Dunn, humiliated repeatedly by his father and denied his dreams. Albert resolved to aid and abet the murderer. Hamish did it alone. Martin Hamish committed the murder alone. He loaded Montague Dunn because of his treatment of Hamish's father. Hamish had enough time to lock Dunn and activate the ventilation fan from his workplace. Hege! I'm just doing this based on my pure instincts, but White had more time than Albert, right? So it's safe to say that White is more likely to be the killer than Albert, because I am not sure actually which one is the murderer. But do I really want to condemn her by chance? Alright, looks like I have unfinished business here.
Here it is.
Oh yeah,
Cylinder records.
I forgot Miss White mentioned about a study of hers as well. Let's see.
These plants, classified as shrubs or grasses, have adapted to their arid environment due to a system of underground roots.
This recording seems very long. It is unnecessary to listen to all of it. Miss White was in the laboratory, as she told us.
Alright. Wait, is Miss White at the laboratory? Yeah. Yeah, I guess White is the accomplice, I think. I don't want to really do this, but process of elimination, Miss White is more likely to be the murderer than Hamish and Albert, so I have to rely on that. Condemn Miss White. Miss White is a dangerous woman, very capable of carrying out an elaborate murder for monetary gain. She flirted with Dunn's son Albert and later pushed Martin Hamish to his suicide. She deserved the rope. Miss White is a desperate woman in debt, resigned to consorting with wealthy gentlemen. When Dunn cast her aside, she killed him in desperation. Hamish tried to save her. She deserved a second chance. I don't know. How should I do this one? I mean, it is for monetary gain. And it's not really self-defense, it's not really for desperate measures, right? So, I think, I'm sorry Miss White, but I should condemn you for this one. Yes! Yeah. That was a faster deduction process than I would normally have, because it's kinda, you know, how should I say it? Kinda obvious, not kind of obvious, but due to the process of elimination and how fake everyone is, I cannot really pinpoint onto one person, but I think Miss White is the most plausible person out of all of them.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
Oh,
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining: the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
I see.
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me, but she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
Alright. Is this gonna be a shootout? Why does Mr. Holmes need to be alone?
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No!
What?
Stop!
What happened? What happened? What happened? Step forward.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Oh, poison? Step forward.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
No, don't kill yourself.
Stop
No.
this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's
No,
too
it's
late.
not too late. Oh, come on. Take it. Oh. Oh.
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
Miss White is a dangerous woman, very capable of carrying out an elaborate murder. When she realized that she was unable to make any further monetary gain from Montague Dunn, she advanced her affection to Albert, his son. She was the one who locked the door of the Colonial Collection Room directly after Hamish released the caterpillars, and then pushed Martin Hamish to his suicide only to cover herself. She got what she deserved. Yeah, I'll accept the decision. Yes! Justiceseeker. Haha. Yeah, I knew it. Wait, 92%? What the heck? Okay. I guess it's not just my instinct then. I guess that many people chose that ending as well. Man! I thought I was acting smarter than I thought back there. A half moonwalk. A new case. What's this? What's this?
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson.
We have. Where to?
To the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
Wah.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat-head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
I can hear them on the stairs now.
What?
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh,
Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes is my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, 'cause I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
And forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
you really want the dinner? You sure? You sure? You'll die if you take that dinner. Okay. Where's your icon now? I was into the conversation of the food. God. Right. Scotland Yard.
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
Alright. Wait, I can talk to you again?
Mr. Holmes!
No. Why do you have drawing of shapes of noses? What does that have to do with being an investigator? Alright. This is his belongings.
A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt. These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting. So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon.
Ooh. Okay. Let's see.
It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder.
Handle. Ah.
2 out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots.
2 shots to victims. Okay. Although, just judging by that alone, this, yeah, I feel like it's kind of one-sided. Alright. Do I need to investigate you now? Maybe not. I should probably check the crime scene first. Yes? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Okay. I like doing that. Okay, go to Half Moon Street, yeah! Hi, Watson. Wait, no. There is no. Yes, I haven't made any deductions. That's the wrong button. Is it this one? Who are you? Oh, that's the exit. I'm supposed to go this way. Oh, I see. It's in this alleyway. Hello. I cannot see anything. Oh. I guess those two are the victims.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving.
Constable Marrow. Oh, I cannot examine you. I mean, yeah, you're the constable.
Who were the victims?
The two men here, both shot. The stab fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
A jeweler and a ruffian.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
I see.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Alright.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
So firework was happening beforehand. This is okay. This is a harder case than I thought.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course. Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Okay.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
Mr. Turner was up there, but the windows were dark. Okay. Kenneth Butler, let me examine you. Plates, stuck object, piece of wood, and piece of wood.
A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look.
Oh, is it a cigarette butt?
This shard of wood is quite new.
Okay.
This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens.
Well, I'm going to get to your house maybe, or something, for investigation. Oh my god.
The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance.
Yeah. Instant death. Okay. Anything here?
A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vicotti must have done some time there.
Westgate Prison.
He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant. The bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound. Brian Vicotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die.
Oh. Yeah.
A fairly long pole with a forked end.
Alright. Object of interest. Right, I don't think I have anything else to investigate on this location, so I'll talk to this person. Where are you here? Oh, Ryan Turner. Mr. Turner.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story?
Right, but before that, let me take a look at you. Okay. War veteran. Poor life. And something else. Limping.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
So according to him, only 3 people were there. Interesting.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
Can I get in your house? No. Okay, so 2 different shots. 2 different sounding shots, actually. Does that mean there are more than one culprit of the case?
Mr. Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard? Is he alright?
Oh, he's in jail. What do you expect? I mean, yeah, he's alright. Don't worry about him. Okay, let's continue. Okay, I may not have access to all of the buildings. Mirror?
This mirror is turned towards Half Moon Street.
And why is that, I wonder? Polly Powell.
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Well, the difference is that he's a different person.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
Okay.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
How loud are the fireworks, I wonder?
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street, prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
Okay.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
Let's just travel to Scotland Yard first to interrogate the quote-unquote culprit of this case. Although in Sherlock Holmes games, like, he is not the culprit, right? He's just a red herring, I hope. Oh, let me talk to you.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Do I know you?
Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
No.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
Alright. If you tell the truth, this will be easier. Drop on the street. Do you have a black eye here? But, oh. Hot-headed. Office clerk? Okay. Committed a crime.
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw 2 men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man. Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark. and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps... It's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
You're just being brave? This one.
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti.
Ooh,
you came
okay.
to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
Oh, God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
That's really smart, Holmes, okay.
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released, and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
So let me get my thoughts straight. So there was a third killer. And the reason why Mr. Chapman decided to chase after him was because he saw his friend in prison after not hearing back from him for 2 years. Wow. Okay. I didn't really think of this kind of sob story. Oh my goodness, I have a lot to think about this. Do I have anything here? Okay, let me get my deductions first. Marrow, pay attention. Well, whenever he did not observe anyone next to the window, it was dark there. Okay, first view. There you go. Mr. Turner stated that he remained at the window of his flat until the police arrived. However, this is in conflict with Marrow's statement, as the constable did not see anyone at the window. Yeah, that's the thing that I can see over here. Okay, and this. There you go. Turner could hear the contrast between two fired shots, as in fact 3 shots were made. At first, a single shot was fired, and then 2 guns fired simultaneously directly afterwards. Turner could hear the contrast between 2 fired shots, as they were made from different points in Half Moon Street. Looks like I can check this conclusion out. This and this. The person whom Leighton Chapman describes in his statements is a figment of his own imagination, created to vindicate himself. Wow. Okay, it might not be that. Okay, I don't think I can do anything else. I need more evidence. Yeah. Hey, what? What happened?
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught. beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
Wow. Okay. Hi.
It would be my pleasure to assist.
Oh. One of the victims fired his gun twice. Ah, so that's what this for. The pole. Yes. Let me grab it. Right, let's see. Are there bullet markings on this thing?
Nothing interesting here.
Nothing. So that means the person who fired the gun twice was this. Let's see, where's the gun mark? Where's the gun mark? There it is.
This is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh. Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
There was a third shot. You got hit in the head. You got hit in the stomach. Although, I should question you. Hello?
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
Nope. This one.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. Do you understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Oh.
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly.
Bookshelves. Is there anything important here? The walking stick. Oh!
A perfect match. So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
Okay.
The books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here a short while ago.
This is his bed.
Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots.
So this is what it feels like living in the 80s. Or 90s, I don't know. Maybe 80s or 60s, I don't know. 1880, 1890, 1900, maybe.
This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago.
Over an hour ago. Look like there's something over there. Ashes. Burnt paper. This is too hot.
The papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here.
Anything back here?
These words are illegible.
No? Okay.
The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
Huh. That's a question that I should ask him. Next. Kitchen table. That's a knife.
This kitchen knife is quite sharp.
Table sweepings. Shredded paper. Oh.
There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
But why? Open.
So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window. Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse.
Hmm.
The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
Okay. Ooh, there's a lot of things I need to know about this, right? Got up from his bed. Open the window, approach a body. Place the broken stick. Cover it with knife and threw something to the fire. Is it correct? He grabbed some kind of papers. Then he cut it with the knife. And he burned it.
So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find?
Do I have to examine the papers again? Or no, doesn't look like it. Bad prints.
I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look.
Okay.
Well now, what a find! A precious jewel, concealed inside a book.
Oh, right. He's a jeweler.
A bracelet with a unique ram's head design, a distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
Okay. Oh, naughty Mr. Turner. You dare stole stuff? Can I talk to you? Yeah, explain everything.
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly, despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
Oh. You're lame.
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Oh, time can pull tricks on you.
Yeah, time for you to tell the whole truth.
And what of everything else that you told us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
Yeah?
Mr. Turner, you were not sincere with me. Not then, and not now.
But Mr. Holmes...
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor man. When I chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
But the owner is dead. Okay. Kenneth Butler and Brian Vercotti both died of crossfire, with each of them holding a gun. One of the guns is now missing. Oh yeah, Do I get any letters from completing that last case? I wonder. I have not been in this place. After on the new case, yes. Ooh. Sensation, an exotic method of murder. The arsenal of our present-day criminals may soon be refilled with poisonous plants. A young and beautiful woman, in collaboration with her colleague at Kew Gardens, planned the terrible murder of their director, Mr. Montague Dunn. Only one detective was capable of uncovering the truth behind a tragedy that was initially believed to be a simple heart attack. That detective name is Sherlock Holmes. Of course, only Sherlock Holmes would be able to do it. Right. These beautiful antique jewels represent a part of the Hellenistic treasures collection. Depicted are the 5 heads of mountain rams upon a bracelet, necklace, and ring, each made of pure gold. The 5 rams of Mytilene have been missing from the museum since 1885.
Here it is.
So it's stolen.
I need to continue my research in my archives.
Alright. 1885, yes. This one. A treasure staff. The Hellenistic treasures were stolen yesterday evening while being transported by cab on their way from the British Museum to the Glass for Fine Art exhibition. Pawn shop owner Kenneth Butler contacted Scotland Yard that night and provided information regarding a German who had attempted to sell him a collection of historical art at his pawn shop in Church Street. The police have since captured the described man, a professional thief by the name of Vincent Foley, who had been in the process of escaping London via the port. He was recognized by the surviving driver of the cab that had transported the collection of Hellenistic treasures. Vincent Foley refused to confess as to where the remainder of the treasures were hidden. He was eventually imprisoned. The lost treasures are still to be found.
Here it is. One of the victims, Kenneth Butler, was involved in the story of the stolen Hellenistic treasures. A visit to his pawn shop should tell me more.
Alright, we got a new location, the pawn shop. Yes, but I think it's a good time to end this episode here. From what I've gathered, it's a crossfire and the culprit, this presumed culprit. Who's the name again? I forgot, but the name. Yeah, Mr. Chapman said that the true culprit ran away. I know he only saw a shadow because of all the fireworks going on and the lights being kind of dim. Wow, that's a lot of things going on in this case, and we haven't even scratched the surface of it. But for now, thank you so much for watching my video. I don't really say this much again, but I think I have to say it. If you like it, please drop a like and a comment, or subscribe. I don't know, maybe. But see you later in the next video. Bye bye.